so I got some pretty cool things in the mail today. I got some, well, yeah, that thing is cool, but I got some bulkheads, and I got this nice pump right off of Amazon.com. And so today I'm going to be assembling the sump for my 110-gallon display tank that's out there in my pond room. Now, the reason I went with bulkheads instead of uniseals is because I didn't really, my tank is already pre-drilled. I'm not drilling the holes for the tank, and for uniseals it sounds like you'd have to have a pretty exact fit for them to work properly. So I decided to go with just some regular bulkheads. Now, I can't remember what brand these are, but they're just plain old black PVC bulkheads that with two pretty decent gaskets actually. But yeah, then this pump, I think it's just 800 gallon per hour. The brand is Free Seed. Let's see right there. Yeah, it also came with some. It came with some adapters as well, and some suction cups to stick to the bottom of the tank. Now, the size of my sump, I'm going to be using a 20-gallon tall because that's what I have on hand. That should be plenty large enough. I'll be able to fit plenty of media in there, but I am going to have to go to the store and get some parts for this because I don't have a whole lot of PVC pipe on hand, and I'm probably not going to use PVC pipe anyway, mostly because I believe soft tubing would be much more effective. Anyway, I'm going to see if these fit on the aquarium, and then I will go to the store and get some parts. Alright, so I went to the store this morning and got some pieces. I just got a couple threaded or barbed adapters. I got a nice 1-inch for the larger bulkhead and then a 3/4 inch for the smaller one. I also got, for the larger bulkhead, I got a 1-inch threaded adapter so that the standpipe can be attached to the adapter or to the bulkhead. Now obviously this pipe is much larger than 1 inch. This is a 1 1/4 inch, but I decided to keep it because it has this nice strainer and everything on it. Anyway, I got that, and then that's going to go through this 1-inch barbed fitting, and then I got some 1-inch tubing as well to make sure that it's directed into the sump. I each have this pump, and that's going to pump it back up through some 3/4 inch tubing that I got, up through another adapter, up through the bulkhead, and then up and back into the aquarium. Alright, so I got the tank cleaned out now, as you can see right here. It's not perfect, but I mean it's going to be a filter, so I mean it's going to be collecting stuff like this anyway. Now, I think I am just going to go stick with the single 20-gallon because the more I look at this, I mean there's really only, this is the weir right here, there's really only going to be about 1.5 inches maybe of water above this, maybe. So I think it should be just fine with that flowing in there, because I'm planning on only having this tank filled up about 6 or 8 inches maybe, so not even halfway up the side of this thing. So I think it should be fine if the power were to go out and this were to fill up with water. But you know, I am gonna make sure that is the case. I'm gonna turn off the I mean obviously if I turn off the pump that'll simulate that, so I'm gonna do that before I actually go through with anything. But first I have to get this thing actually hooked up. As you can see though, the one big problem that I think I will have is obviously this hole is unfortunately lined up with the support post. I kind of just have to shave this one little corner off and that'll be fine. Alright, so I got this carved away pretty well, as you can see. It fits really nice now. Plenty of room for the tubing and everything to fit around the fitting. Now all I have to do is clean up around. You can kind of see it's kind of dirty up here, so I have to clean up around where the gasket is going to sit on the inside of the tank, and then I can get this hooked up. So the tubing I'm using is basically just plain vinyl tubing. You know, I got some clear and a black tubing. This is for the return back to the aquarium, and this is for the overflow from the standpipe going into the sump. Alright, got one hooked up. Let's get the other one. Alright, so one of the tricks to actually getting this on here, actually, you actually see up there? Let's see. So one of the tricks that I use to actually get the tubing on the adapter is basically just take it and run it under some really hot water for like 30 seconds, and it works really well. As you can see, it's a nice tight fit, and it goes on really easy. Alright, so I got the tubing cut, as you can see, and I got my pump in here too. I was kind of just test fitting it, but anyway, this tubing fits nice on here. I got it cut, so there's enough wiggle room in there so that I can actually just move the pump around if I need to any portion of the sump. But yeah, I also cut this one the same way. I am going to have to address the problem of this tube not being actually tall enough. Well, it's not tall enough, but also, yeah, it doesn't quite reach that hole, so I'm going to have to fix that. I might be able to just cut off a little bit of it and put a hose clamp around it. That way I could just get it up and running and test it out a little bit before, you know, I go spend money on an expensive piece that I don't really want to buy. So I'm going to test this out first to see how it works. Alright, so, I mean, it's working now. I had some pretty bad issues with some leaking going on up here, but I can fix that now. I think I actually had a faulty bulkhead, and I also didn't put Teflon tape in the, for the, you know, the adapters, so I did that and replaced the bulkhead on the return, and now it's working much, much better, as you can see. Now, the one thing I have to do, I got to fill that up because there's not really enough room for all the media I want to put in there. I also have to change this return because I don't like it. I mean, it works for now, but eventually I will be changing that because, yeah, I have to. Anyway, I'm going to get the media out of this canister filter here and put it in there so I can, you know, have this thing cycled and it can be a filter. Looks like I forgot I got some mechanical filtration in here. That's going to need to be... You know, I'm probably just going to get rid of that. That's pretty old, but yeah, we'll put it in here anyway because it's filtration, right? So we'll just throw it in there. We also have, oh yeah, lava rock. I'm also going to be buying some new media that I've never actually tried before. It's the little bricks of media, and they're supposed to have, you know, they're supposed to be very, very porous and hold a lot of bacteria. So I figure I'll give that a try. It's relatively cheap as well, and it can just literally sit in here and it'll work just fine. So I'm going to get some of that in addition to maybe some more lava rock. But I should be able to pack this thing full of biological media just all the way through here. And then obviously, as I mentioned, or maybe I didn't, I'm going to put a little mechanical filtration basket up in this corner. And I'm going to 3D print a nice little holder for this tube that allows it to go right in there. So that should work just fine. And yeah. Anyway, I'm going to fill this up a little bit more, and then I will share some final thoughts. Alright, so this thing's been up and running for about an hour now, and I haven't noticed any more major leaks up there, which is good. Now, the one thing I probably will change is, for sure, is the pump. I think I want to buy a different pump. The suction cups on this one aren't the best, and it's kind of loud, which is unfortunate, because I thought I would be a fan of this thing. It seemed easy to use. I mean, it works just fine, but I think I might also want a bigger one, so if I'm buying a bigger one, I might as well just buy a different one, but a different brand. So I may just go all in and buy a really nice pump for this with a nice controller and everything, but we'll see. I mean, this one does work just fine, and once I have the facade on this stand, it'll, you know, act as kind of like a noise dampening barrier, which is good. I still haven't decided what I really want to do with all the media. I may add a spray bar down here at the bottom that will kind of, you know, direct or force the water through just a lot of media that I pile up in the bottom here. You know, I could also do a trickle tower, and then, you know, I'll have the clamp up here and have the, you know, the water flow through some mechanical filtration, then trickle down through some biological. But I do like the idea of just having it in the water in the bottom. But anyway, I'll figure that out at a later date. The media in here now is just fine for the bio load I have. You know, this is a big tank, so there's also bacteria growing everywhere in the aquarium. I'm really excited to actually have this set up because this is my first tank that's been drilled for a sump filtration system. So yeah, this is my first real experience with this kind of filtration setup. So I'm excited to get it built out and everything, and make this tank look amazing. In the next video, I'm probably going to be buying lids for this aquarium. I'm not going to be buying like glass lids or anything. I'm going to buy some double-walled polycarbonate panels for this, and just cut them to size. And then I'll probably be buying some like little LED lights from Home Depot that I use on some of my other tanks, and I think they would look really great on this aquarium, so I'll probably be doing that. I'm also going to add a light underneath the stand so that when I do have to maintain the sump, I'll have plenty of light to do that. So yeah, anyway, that's about all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and consider subscribing. See ya.